Hi everybody, I'm Kirsty Meakin from Nao Nails. In this video we're going to do a reconstruction nail on my own poorly, sad looking nail. Yeah, so I yet again had nails. Well, I got nails. They weren't that much. They were a bit longer than this. I'd say they were probably about that long. But you know, when you're at football, you know, coaching football in nets, grabbing balls and all that, give it a good old whack twice in one day, and lifted this part of the nail away.
At least it was only that part, not the full
Yeah,
thing.
I've just got this little corner here that's missing. So we're going to make this nail look like a normal nail. And we're also going to extend it only a little bit. So only to about there. I don't want to extend it loads because I don't want to have the problem again. I want it to grow out underneath. That's what we're trying to create. A natural looking nail, and then everything else can repair underneath. And the acrylic on top will actually act like a bandage. So, a pretty bandage though. Pretty one. That's pretty bandage. Alright, so let's do a little bit of prep work on this nail. I am going to do a little bit of cuticle work. And this is on my non-dominant hand.
Using your non-dominant.
Using my, non-dominant hand. So you see I'm resting my wrists together. That is going to steady me. My forearm is leaning on the table. And notice how I'm flipping around this bit and the whole handpiece of the electric file. So I'm going like this. So the rotation is pushing away from the natural nail, and that will push back the cuticle. And then as I come around this side, I change the positioning of that handpiece and the bit and come more straight. I could do it like this, then change the rotation and then come back round this way, but it's easy for me when I'm doing it on myself to do it this way. You'll have seen me do it that other way in other videos. We've got a whole video on that, haven't we?
Probably. We've got a whole video on just about everything.
Yeah.
People ask a lot for certain things, and I always say, what you should do is just type in Nao Nails and the thing you want to find, and generally you'll find it.
Yeah.
Because we will definitely have it.
There's so many videos. So many tutorials. How many hours of tutorials have we got, do you think?
A whole lifetimes. I'm not even joking.
Never ending.
Well, there's about 1,000 on there.
Wow.
Something like that. I can't remember. Maybe it's 900. But if you average them out at, let's say, 10 minutes each, what's that? Is that 10,000? No.
More than that.
10,000 minutes.
There must be a way of finding out the complete watch time of the whole channel. That'd be pretty fun to know.
I'll have a look. But if you, like you say, if you average it out at like 10 minutes each, that's 10,000 hours. 10,000 minutes.
I'm not sure.
I can't do maths.
Somebody's going to work it out and put it in. Someone's going to find out for us. I'm sure they will.
Please,
comment.
somebody find out so I don't have to. Oops.
I'm going to take this bit now and just run it across the very edge of the broken area. So I know right at that edge it's been abrased. Because how would I ever get into that little nook and cranny with a normal file? It'd be more difficult. So this electric file will just be able to...
Does that feel sensitive?
Not really, no, it feels fine. Everybody does say, ooh, that looks sore, and I'm like, it's not actually sore at all. This bit just, it feels weird. It's a weird sensation. It's not painful. Can I just tell you that I am not a doctor, so I will not diagnose nail conditions on this channel, but I do know that this will be called onycholitis because I had separation through trauma. And I reckon if I went to the doctor, he'd tell me not to put a nail on it.
What do doctors know?
What do doctors know? Well, I want a nail on it. I know that I can only have a short nail on. I know that that's all I need. Just something short and it's going to act like a bandage. I've done this before. Trust me, I'm not a doctor. Right, so I'm going to use a 240 grit file. You don't want anything that's more abrasive because this nail is already damaged. And I'm literally just going to take off that bit of shine. It's a bit of a shiny nail. And it's not dead thin because I can see how thick it is. It's quite a, you know, a decent nail that I've ripped off there. Done a right good job of that. Because I was thinking, oh, I wonder if it was thin. I wonder if I've over-filed it. But actually the rest of the nail is, you know, it's quite good really. Because you can have problems if, you know, you've over-filed your nails, or you've been to a salon and they've over-filed your nails. This was one of my favourite nails. Not now, my friend. You have been obliterated. I'm going to wipe over with gel residue wipe-off solution. This will clean everything. It'll remove the dust. You want to make sure, you know, if you're having a go at this, make sure that you really clean that nail. There we are. All nice and clean. You can see how it'll go chalky as that evaporates. The gel residue wipe-off solution slightly dehydrates the finger as well, and the nail, obviously. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put on a sculpting form. I'm not going to sculpt out a big long nail, so don't worry about that. Put the tab on the back. Give it a roll. Close that end. So what I'm going to do is, you see the side that will touch here? That's fine. You want to make sure you come right round to that side wall with your sculpting form. You don't want to cause a fracture point by not fitting it right from side to side. I am going to cut a little snippet here because my finger is a little bit chunky. I need to cut that out. So this part of the form, see where it's touching there, can sit a little bit closer. I'm going to do a little bit on this side as well. I find this, my fingers are quite chunky. And the skin at the side pushes the form out and makes it really flat. So now I've made room for the skin at the side so I can get this form fitting a little bit tighter. Right, we're going to use the nail prep dehydrator. I'm going to dehydrate the nail, and I'm also going to dehydrate this skin. I don't want any of the oils sort of interfering with the application. But I'm going to use the Ultra Bond acid primer only on the natural nail. You don't need to put this on the skin. It will tingle a little bit if you put it on the skin. I'm going to use medium speed liquid. So I've got a little bit of time to play with. Now what I want to do is, I've got two choices here. I could just cover this in a natural beige colour, or I could put a natural on, use the natural powder to make it look really natural. Or actually there's another option. There's three options. Or I could do a clear nail. I am inclined to do a clear nail. I'll tell you for why.
Yeah, you can see the confused. Leah can't see the confused look on my face.
Yeah.
But you'll be able to see through it.
You will able to see through it, yes. So you either do, if say you've got a client and they don't want to see what's underneath and they want just a natural looking nail, you could use natural beige, or you could use the natural colour. Or you can do a clear. I am slightly more inclined to do clear because I know I'm going to put gel polish on top of this nail anyway. So it doesn't really matter. And having a clear extension bandage on this nail will allow me to see if there's any further damage to the nail, or I can see if it's growing up, how far it's growing up, if the damage is growing out, so I can really assess it if it has a clear extension.
Method in your madness.
It may not look pretty, but I'll be able to see what's going on, and you know, I'll really be able to look after it a lot better, because if I put natural beige on, I will not be able to see what's happening under there, and I'll be like, oh, what's going on? Is it growing out? You know, I've no idea. So I am going to do it in clear. I'm going to be using my non-dominant hand. I'm going to use my right hand, which is my dominant hand, to load the brush.
You normally pick the bead up, it's cold, don't you?
Yeah, I can pick it up with that hand as well. It's just weird with that form on. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to put it into my non-dominant hand. I'm going to work here first. I'm working from the middle down. I want to concentrate on this part, the damaged part, first of all.
So is it going to heal from underneath where you've put the acrylic?
Yes.
Because I thought your nail came from the matrix, which is at the cuticle, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to grow forward.
But it grows...
And it'll reattach.
Part of, like, the bed grows at the same time as well?
No, it slides across the nail bed.
Right.
So it slowly moves across the nail bed and ends up right at the front here, giving you a free edge.
But won't it get stuck when it gets to the acrylic?
What do you mean? No, not at all. Not at all. It will slightly release off, that will. The acrylic will not be stuck to my nail bed for that long. Give it a few days and it'll release. And I'll be able to see that. And I'll be able to monitor it. I might even have to do this again in a week's time. Give it a week or two. And then I'll assess the situation. Maybe we'll actually do a little video on it.
Okay.
Like a little catch up. On Kirsty's poorly nail. It's like getting loads of attention for being poorly. I'll have get well cards and everything. Balloons, flowers. And so once you've done the free edge, you can do the cuticle area, and then you can build, if you need to build a little bit more with the apex. I'm going to pattern press this as much as I can to get it as smooth as I can, which is difficult using my left hand. Just want it to sneak it a little bit closer on that cuticle area. I will pinch it a little bit, but not a lot. So I'm just going to do it with my fingers. I'm not going to put a tool on. I don't want to put a lot of stress on that nail. So I'm using my thumb and my finger. You can even use both thumbs if you want. And I'm going to turn it around, make sure it's nice and straight. Let's take this form off now. got a little nail. Got a little nail. So you notice it's not that long. It's just coming over the edge. I've got to file it yet, so it will come down a little bit more. It's probably going to be more like that. I'm going to file. I'm going to anchor it in position. And then I can actually move my right hand. So you want to anchor it in position where you want it, and then you can move that right hand. So using the hand that's more comfortable for you. Alright. So I get in position and then I move my right hand again, not moving my left hand. I'm resting my forearm on the table so I know I'm sturdy. And I'm just keeping that arm quite stiff. So it's not too difficult. It becomes difficult when you're not resting on anything and you start to try and use this hand that I do not have full control over. I feel like I'm using somebody else's hand. So again, I'm going to rest and I'm going to use my right hand to move. Resting the file, moving my right hand. Which kind of looks a bit weird, I'm sure. You can even have a go at doing them both at the same time. Look at that. I bet that just looks weird.
Looks like you're trying to rub your belly and pat your head. I wonder if there's loads of people now trying to rub their belly and pat their head.
Yeah, bet there is. Right, now we're going to make sure that the sides are not bulky. Checking down the barrel. And then we can file. Now this bit I think I find quite easy because I'm only really filing this flat part. I'm not filing the apex because the file just sits like this. And I'm just rubbing, I'm just removing any bulk. But I am moving the file across the nail. You can see there's a slight dip there because the file's not touching. So we want to smooth that out. Do it equally. Don't just file that area. I'm just going to soften the apex a little bit now. Once I'd filed this part, I felt like it was a little bit high. I'm going to use 240 grit file again now because I don't want to eat away at it too much, but I want to smooth it a little bit further. That's better. See, I've got rid of that little dip. I've got a nice soft apex.
How long do you think you spend more on doing your right hand than you do your left?
I reckon I probably spend twice as long.
Okay.
I reckon it. I do think it takes me twice as long to do this hand. Like this hand is an expert. This hand is a student. It's still in training.
Or it's like an expert that's had a few drinks.
Yeah. Plus I'm extremely fussy.
Well,
not as bad as Faye, but...
you taught her.
I taught her to be so fussy. Right. Oh, let's get this buffed. Smooth it out with a buffer.
So how much smoother is a buffer than, like, let's say a 240 grit file?
Well, because a buffer is spongy, it wraps around the nail.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So when you are actually, look, it catches more surface area and actually makes it smoother.
Right.
Whereas you don't get that with a file.
I've learned something new. I didn't know.
All these years? You didn't know that?
I didn't know, no.
Right, dust that off. And I'm going to give it a wipe so you can really see it a little bit clearer. I'm going to wipe it with acetone. Oh. More for your purpose, just to make it smoother so you can see a little bit more. So, how can you see why I've done it in clear? I'm going to be able to monitor this section as it grows up. So as it grows up, imagine what this side's going to look like. I'm going to have a free edge underneath my nail, aren't I? And I am going to make sure I keep this nail short. So as it grows up, I'm going to take down the length. If I see anything I don't like, I'm going to soak off the acrylic and I'm going to reapply. So I'm not going to just let it keep growing and growing and growing and going really long, because that'll put stress on it, and I want this to completely, fully repair.
So as the nail, right, you've got the nail bed and the nail plate, yeah? As the nail plate grows out of the matrix, it's joined to the nail bed, so it like sort of crawls across it, if you like.
Yeah.
So it'll go under the acrylic
Yeah.
and pop the acrylic. Like,
Yeah, it'll push the acrylic off. As
Yeah.
it starts to move, the acrylic will just release. It's
Right.
like being on skin. You know what acrylic's like when it's on skin. You can just flick it off, can't you?
Right, okay.
So it'll just happen slowly
Okay.
as it goes. If I knock this area of my skin, it will pull the acrylic off as well.
All right.
That's why I wanted it a little bit length, so I don't knock that. Yeah. I'm going to put a little bit of cuticle oil on. I'm going to go underneath as well. That helps as well, having a little bit of oil under there. So that nail's ready for, if you want it. Obviously without the oil. You wouldn't put the oil on if you're going to put some gel polish on, but you could do anything you want now. You could put some nail art on it, a bit of bling, gel polish. I'm going to put some gel polish on it in the next video. Because have you seen the state of my other nails? Yes. I need an infill. So there you are, guys. That's how to reconstruct a nail that's been slightly damaged. We went through lots of different things about why I've done it like I have, and hopefully you've learned a lot. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram, and everything I've used today will be listed below. Give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, then what are you doing?
Put your notification bell on as well, because we're getting complaints again. People aren't getting notifications.
YouTube are messing us about.
Yeah, there's been people who said that they thought we closed the channel down because they hadn't been getting notifications.
Oh my god. Yeah, hit that notification bell. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. You don't want anything that is more abrasive with blah, 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 blah. Everyone like my cup of tea? Gotta have a cup of tea, haven't you? The doctor's here.